Right, 21 January 2024, and today I want to give you a quick rundown of the very, very interesting stories that are taking place on this Sunday. And this is to do with, obviously, the politics around our country. And as you know, ED went to Uganda for the Non-Aligned Movement Summit. And this summit, I was looking at it. If you want to see the video, you can go online. It's really not an interesting summit. All you saw there was Museveni speaking this long speech. Nothing was really interesting there at that summit. And the Chinese also had a summit at the same time. So I don't know what that was. I don't know what, even if I can call it a summit. It's crazy what Museveni does. And listening to Museveni is always interesting to me. I'll probably get a snippet or two from what he was saying there, but I found it very annoying and long. That was the speech from Museveni. Now, if you look at ED arrived at the summit and he's back now. He's showing off his new presidential jet. This is the first time that probably most of you are seeing this jet. ED is flying around in a new presidential jet, a Falcon 7X, which landed at Entebbe International Airport. So he went to Uganda in it, then he went to DRC in this jet. So that's ED. He bought this for 43 million US dollars, I think about a year or so ago. So this is ED's presidential jet now. It is dumped that Dubai, huge airplane that they were using from Dubai. And if you look at the people that welcomed here, those are the guys who were there already when he arrived. There's a video of this. You can go online and see it. But the interesting portion is when he left Zimbabwe, General Chiwenga did not attend that farewell. So the person who actually attended is Mohadi. Mohadi is, remember, the current acting president is General Chiwenga until the time when ED came back. So it was obviously expected that General Chiwenga will be there. But what happened is that Mohadi is actually the one who ended up attending this farewell. This was Mnangagwa leaving, going to Uganda, and General Chiwenga was nowhere to be found. And then you got our guys here. These are our top military security guys, also bidding farewell. And you see this guy here. This is ED and his security team. I told you yesterday that the guys around ED are really struggling. Look at the guy in the black and the guys in the cream suit. It's not looking good for the guys around ED. ED needs to improve the conditions of the guys around him. I always say, if you look at what is happening in Zimbabwe, it's affecting everybody. It's even affecting the guys who work for ED. And these guys never seem to want to improve the conditions of service for these guys who are in security. You see someone moving around in a motorcade and with the president and everything. When they go home, their conditions of living are so poor. That is the situation. But key story is General Chiwenga did not attend this farewell. He just stayed home, and Mohadi had to stand in for him here. So we want to see Mohadi is going to be playing a more important role going forward. As you know, General Chiwenga next in line to be the president of Zimbabwe, and ED counting down his last 1,200 days. He's going to be out of office. So we want to see how this handover is going to take place. I do not think it's going to be smooth. The handover from ED to General Chiwenga, it will need a lot of maneuvering from General Chiwenga. I don't think ED is just going to hand him over the office of president. Now let's go to the next story. If you go to the Standard newspaper, Nelson Chamisa has talked to the newspaper yesterday. They asked him if he's planning to form a new party name or to have a new party name. And his answer was, who says CCC is the destination? Maybe it's just a bridge, a detour. Puncturing the wheels of the CCC does not mean we will not reach our destination. Maybe they're just directing us to the main road. So let's see what Chamisa does. There is need to make a very, very important announcement very, very soon. Everything is looking a bit confused with these conflicting judgments. There are multiple conflicting judgments from the judges, from the courts. What the courts are doing is they are going with Sengezo Chabangu, but at the same time, they are saying he is not the interim secretary general of the CCC. So there are conflicting judgments. There's also pending judgments in terms of whether Chabangu has the authority to recall. So this is going to be a constitutional mess, as I said. But if I was Chamisa, I would do the right thing and leave this whole CCC thing. Chamisa is going to do very, very well without CCC, as he has always done before. But the end game is dialogue. It's not all this thing of CCC and so forth. Chamisa is the main player in the dialogue. He's not going to do better just by doing elections and all that kind of stuff. So Chamisa needs to focus on the dialogue. He needs to focus on SADC. Then we look at Makandiwa. Makandiwa has done something that I don't know if it's usual for him. But what Makandiwa has done is he's gone out to defend TB Joshua after the documentary. Makandiwa said he got a call from TB Joshua to visit him in Nigeria, but he didn't go. And he said he regularly talked to TB Joshua on the phone. So I don't know what was going on there between Makandiwa and TB Joshua and why he's defending him. My thought is TB Joshua and multiple Nigerian prophets, they are into a lot of very, very shady things. This is well known. And I don't think Makandiwa should make the mistake of aligning himself or defending this. These guys are not people that you can defend. And at that note, I want to tell you about a dream that I had about Makandiwa. I think it's been pending for a very, very long time. So, some time back, I had this dream, right, about Makandiwa. And Makandiwa had to leave Zimbabwe, right, and go away. I don't know where he had gone and why he had gone. And then he left some other people in charge of his church. And when he came back, everything had been destroyed. There was nothing left. And I saw him removing his jacket and starting to build his church from scratch by himself. So let's see whether Makandiwa is going to do well, given that he's now opposing ZANU-PF and supporting TB Joshua. This is something that I just wanted to give you as a detour in my own thing. You know that I'm Prophet Gambakwe at the same time, right? US Embassy Zimbabwe. Right, let's talk about US Embassy Zimbabwe. Once again, in the Newsday, they are promoting something called the Zimbabwe Center for Media and Information Literacy Project. I think this is connected to my brother Zinzil Ndebele. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but this is to support media and responsible reporting and all those kind of things. So I don't know about it. I don't know, but they're saying 12 medium manager newsrooms are getting support from the US Embassy in Zimbabwe. So I don't know what this is all about, but if you know, you can find out if you want to be involved in that. But from our side, as Gambakwe Media, I do not know about it. Then Tinoka Dewere is struggling as his market value has fallen from 12.5 million to 2.5 million. That is our popular soccer player. He was doing very, very well until he got injured. So his value is now 2.5 million. He's not scoring as many goals as before. In the Manika Post, 279 missing Manicaland residents. They've been missing since Cyclone Idai. They are now going to be declared dead. So you remember that when all those people died, about 800 people who died during Cyclone Idai, 279 were declared missing because their bodies were not found. You remember there were bodies that were swept to sea, and we saw all those bodies, but these ones have not been found. 279 missing bodies. You can go to the Manika Post and find out more there. Anthrax has spread to humans. 2 people now have anthrax from cattle. Anthrax is a disease which affects cattle. 2 people have now been affected in Manicaland. So on top of cholera, Zimbabwe now have anthrax among the people. And you can go and look at that story. Don't eat meat from a cow with anthrax or touch its skin. and there's a new airport which is going to be built in Mutare, according to whatever was being said by the minister there yesterday. I showed you the minister who's Zimbabwe infrastructure. That guy says there's going to be a new airport in Mutare. I think there's already an airport, but I don't know if it's functional or they want to expand it. Then in Africa, Ramaphosa's economic advisor, a lady called Tabilioka, she's a doctor. Apparently, she has a fake PhD, and she was a very prominent person sitting on many boards. She has sent a letter of demand to the newspaper, which published that story to say, "You are lying. I do not have a fake PhD from London School of Economics," but they failed to verify a PhD. So it has turned out that this is identified for the position of Deputy Reserve Bank of South Africa manager. South African Reserve Bank is about to appoint a new Reserve Bank, Deputy Reserve Bank manager, director. And this guy who resigned is Kuben Naidu. He's supposed to be replaced by a new Deputy Reserve Bank governor. And that is what is causing all this. People obviously see this as a very powerful position, and they want to make sure that someone else gets in. So if you are in South Africa and you're in this kind of position, people are going to do everything that they can to make sure that you don't get into those positions. Then Nelson Mandela, the South African government has come out and they've said people must stop auctioning Nelson Mandela's property. People have been auctioning Nelson Mandela's goods, his shirts, his plates, his cups, even his stick, his walking stick. It's being sold online for hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And apparently the ministry here is now concerned that this behavior is illegal and it must stop. So this is basically the stories that we have for today. I'll be back with the tenders and executive appointments. I'm going to be posting them for you within the next few hours because the Sunday Mail is not out. So normally I want to get my adverts from the Sunday Mail. At the moment, we only have the Sunday News. The guys at the Sunday News doing a good job. I like the guys at the Sunday News. I like the guys at the Newsday. They do a good job. And at the same time, I think currently in terms of adverts, obviously we look to the Sunday Mail, but they're getting a bit lazy. The guys at the Sunday Mail, they got too many stories on ED. I don't know what that is all about. Everything is ED this, ED that. We need proper stories, guys. Now let's look at the comments before we go. Hello, Gambakwe. Makandiwa is a liar. He's trying to score points by alleging that he used to receive phone calls from TB Joshua. I don't think Makandiwa is lying. Everyone talks to Makandiwa. All the important people I know. You saw him sitting there with the Mugabe and all that, and with the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor Gono and Mandela. He even went to pray for Mandela. I do not think Makandiwa is lying. All I think is that Makandiwa sometimes he gets ill-advised on what he says about these people. TB Joshua is not cool. Was not cool. He crushed those people with a building. And so many things happened. I know what Makandiwa is saying. He's saying that the information, there's no evidence. But you don't need evidence to see what TB Joshua was doing. And there's a lady there. I think she's called Sibisi. I know that lady. She is a problem here in South Africa. She's one of the people witnessing against TB Joshua. She also went against the Zulu King. She's been all over the place. The hotels were looking for her because she was living there in the hotels and not paying. I know what he's saying. But the TB Joshua story is not fake. This guy was a bad man. He was not the right guy to support. Then let's say Saka Gamagoru Team ED or Team VP. I do not support both sides, ED or in fact, let me explain to you about ED. ED has been a great disappointment to many people because when he started out, there is no one in this whole country of Zimbabwe who didn't support ED to remove Bob Mugabe. But as soon as ED got in, he became incompetent. He was not able to do anything. He cannot complete projects. He has failed to meet the objectives of the people. People wanted a better life, they wanted a new currency, they wanted things to move. Instead, ED just took the template of Mugabe and tried to implement it, but without the charisma. And this is where things fell. So my thinking is the 2028 election is not going to happen. This is what I think. There will be no election in 2028. So you are looking at a different kind of leadership structure in Zimbabwe, because Chamisa has to look at the dialogue side. That is where Chamisa needs to focus. Imagine going to an election and losing under the same circumstances. Makes no sense. So ED, how is he going to get out? Because the election is not going to happen. So how is he going to get out? That is the question now that you need to answer. And everyone is waiting for that moment that ED goes out, because his policies are not working. And we're no longer looking for 2028. We're looking for something from now to 2028 so that we can start having progress. He's got no plan for this situation that is there in Zimbabwe right now. Ask anyone who is around ED, what is the plan? There is no plan. And when it comes to Chiwenga, is Chiwenga able to maneuver? Because as I said to you, it's not going to be handed to him. They're not going to make him sit on $100 billion. And currently, the boycotting that is doing and all that kind of stuff, is it showing strength? Is it showing weaknesses? Let me show you something. These guys, those are your guys who are in your army, who are around Mnangagwa. Look at the guys. How old are they? And do you think anything can come out of these guys? I mean, look at the guys that you have, look at the guys we have around, and who was around Mugabe. So your future is not here among these guys. Your future is in something different. We need a different structure in Zimbabwe. If you can fail to create a simple currency and make things work, what do you expect? So it's crazy. I don't believe that ED can do this. But Chiwenga, if he gets into office through a negotiated settlement, then it will probably work. But I don't think he can win an election. I don't know if he's got the ability to mobilize people. Because winning an election in Zimbabwe needs you to have a structure around you. You need to have a team. Does Chiwenga have the team? And that is the question that I've always been asking you. Does he know how to build a team that can take on ED? Because ED has managed to build a team over years to get where he is. Is Chiwenga able to do it? Is he able to? Because you need to challenge ED. If you're going to take that position, you need to show that you are the one who's going to take over. It's not a handshake. It's going to be a struggle to get into that position. Now let's look at Lynn says, Gambako, don't advertise Chamisa to do that, right? You're saying that, okay, you're saying I must advise Chamisa. Chamisa watches here, ED watches here, Chiwenga watches here, and my favorite friend, Mahere, watches here. But yes, she blocks me. You know, I want to tell you guys what happened. Me and Mahere, we had this thing of, there was a time when we published certain stories about it, right? And I want to talk about guys in the opposition. I can't always say nice stories about you. So if I say a story about you and it's not nice, don't take it personal. Don't be like Zanu, you know, like. But Zanu is even better because no one in Zanu has ever blocked me. And so if you see a story here about you and you don't like it, I'm doing my job. I'm not. It's not personal. So I've been asking you to unblock me for a very long time. Do it. You have to unblock me, because what's happening is now if I go to a Twitter space and Mahere is in there, I can't get in. So we have to sort this out. I need my freedom to move around. Okay, and then let's go to MS. I believe that TB assaulted women. Of course, he did. He was a bad man, TB Joshua. And the prophets. I talk to a lot of prophets. The problem with prophets is this: the life that you see on TV is not the life that they live. That is an act, a mad drama. That's what most of them are living. If I tell you the things that I know about profits in Zimbabwe now, you are going to shed tears. If I tell you what I know about Magaya right now, the things that you will laugh or you cry. If I tell you what I know, but I won't for now, because I don't like saying bad things about people. I've been encouraged a long time to do so, but I don't do it. I like to stay in my lane. How old are you, Gambakwe? 1976, born at Bikita. That's Gambakwe. So how old am I? Probably 47. I don't know. Very young. Let's look at. Why do you ask, Gibson? Why do you ask how old I am? I'd like to know. Okay, so I think let's recap. Philip says, have you gone to end gym already, Gambakwe? How is the artificial intelligence PhD coming? I'm going to start sort of like a diary of my PhD journey. You know, PhD is not like university, right? You don't go to school on the first day. They admit you for 6 months to prove that you can be admitted. So I'm within my 6 months where I need to prove that I'm able to be admitted. But I'm already doing artificial intelligence studies on my own. But the actual PhD, I've got 6 months to prove that I am capable of going in there. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a diary every week where I say what I've done. I think PhD is very important, but it's so difficult. Many people don't finish. That is why you see some people are saying with their fake PhD. It's very hard because you have to generate new knowledge, and most people cannot do that. Okay, so let's recap. General Chiwenga boycotts ED's function. He didn't go there when ED was going to Uganda. ED attended the inauguration of new DRC president. Makandiwa has supported or came out in support of TB Joshua. 279 people who are missing from Cyclone Idai have now been declared missing. Sorry, they are now going to be declared dead. And Nelson Chamisa has spoken to the newspaper called the Standard newspaper. Sorry, I think in the beginning I said Newsday, the Standard newspaper. And he has said he is not going to, sorry, he says CCC is not the destination. Who says CCC is the destination? Maybe it's just a bridge, a detour. Puncturing the wheels of the CCC does not mean we will not reach our destination. Maybe we are just directing us to the main road. Maybe there will be more political parties to deal with for ZANU-PF. That is what Chamisa told the newspaper here. So these are the stories that we have today. I'll be back with the tenders and the executive appointments. Executive appointment means directors, CEOs, that level. I'm going to be publishing them here. And I really appreciate all your support. Please go and watch the video that we made yesterday. I went to this 200-meter walk into the sea, and you see all that happened there. Very, very interesting. I hope that tomorrow we'll have a new story about DAS, and this will be very, very interesting if Chamisa was to rebrand here at this particular moment. But as I said to you, the end game is no longer elections. ED, we're no longer waiting for 2028 for him to leave. It's going to be earlier, because whatever happens now, it's going to be a negotiated settlement. It's no longer going to be elections. And I wish that these guys had agreed to the 7-year Sabbath, which was suggested by the pastors. It was going to be very, very interesting in Zimbabwe. But look what has happened now. Everyone is looking very dejected. Nothing is moving. And no one is making money under ED. This is what brings the agency. No one is making money under ED. If you know anyone is making money, let me know. Look at the guys around ED. You can clearly see that they're not doing well. Look at the crumpled suits and yellow shirts. And this is not happening. The current situation is unbearable. Things need to move. And I know that I speak for a lot of people when I say that people want change immediately, but it won't come through any election. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And as I said, I'll be back with the tenders within the next few hours as soon as we get them. Thank you very much and a good day.